Right now, we've got our panel that we've sprayed up for the back side of the shower. We've got all the screw holes cragged all the way around, ready. We've got it up to our board, which is what we need. And we need to measure it now from there to the edge of the doorway, and from here back to there to make sure that is the same, so we know that it's stood upright, so when we put our shower surrounding, it's not tilting forward, tilting back, or we know it's perfectly square. Okay, now then, plumbing. We don't put the plumbing in first, because if you used to put your plumbing in, you think, right, I want my controls here. If you put your controls there, and then when you get your shower, you find out the shower head will have to be on the roof. So we don't do that. What we do, build our shower up, which I've done already. And now I can place it whereabouts I want it to go, and put a little mark on the board. That's ample room there. Then I can drill my holes at this level, and I know the shower is going to go in without causing any grief. So I will cut the holes in, ready, and I will bring our plumbing up and through, all ready. And I will mark this, when I've measured it and make sure it's square, I will mark this, remove the shower tray and screw it all down. And then we'll go on to the next bit. Now then, I've moved this about to get that straight. I've measured this side, which is 900, and this side, which is also 900. I have to do a little mark on each of those. A little mark on the floor here, so I can put that panel exactly back where it was before. I'm going to take it out now, drill the holes for the plumbing, put the plumbing in there, and then when that's through, I'll bring it back, screw it all up, and it's all ready for these inside panels to go. Okay, right, we put our plumbing in, ready for our shower panel, which is here. We put two clips on the back, so we can clip the pipes to the back, make them secure. And we've got to put our waste pipe that goes through there, through the wall, into your gulper, back from your gulper to your shower tray. And we do all that before we put this panel on, because you've only got a narrow gap after to try and get things. And once it's on, you can get at all the bits, either inside where the bedroom is, where your gulper is, or you've got a little hatch here that allows you to get to your shower tray. But I'll show you them again when I've got it in, and you'll know exactly what I'm doing. Now, this pipe is very tight on that, so we've got to get a little, anything will do, as long as it holds water. Put some hot water in it, dip it in the hot water, leave it in there for a little while so it goes all soft, and then push it onto your outside fitting until it gets a very tight grip, and then put your Jubilee clip over it, tighten it up, and you know that's going to be there forever then. Okay, so I'll do all that, and when I've done all that, I will put the video back on again, and I'll show you just what it all looks like when it's done. Okay. Right, as you can see, we've now sweated it on, put the Jubilee clip in. And we've left the Jubilee clip in such a way as we can get a spanner on it, tighten it up, and it comes down, goes through into the bedroom to the gulper, comes back from the gulper, goes down through the floor, and then round the inspection hatch and into the shower tray. And then when you've got that there, you just pop your inspection hatch back on until you need to connect this up. Now always leave your pipes a little bit long, because you don't know just how much you're going to need until you actually come to need it, and if you cut them short and you've got your bath panel in, you're in loads of trouble. Okay, so now we can put the bath panel back in, secure it permanently, and when we've done that, we'll do another video and have the next step. Okay, I've now put the panel back in and I've screwed the screws into the Kreg slots along the bottom and along the other side. So now my panel is in. Have a little look at the back. Now this is why you put all your pipes in, because it's hard to get in afterwards. Okay, there's your stop taps for your shower. They're the things going through to your shower, and I'll show you the other side of connections for them in a bit. I'm happy where everything is, and now I can just clip the pipes in. I know they're not going to go anywhere. I can see my taps, I can get to my taps. Now here at the front, there'll be little units here, and this unit will have your towels in and stuff like that, and that will go in shortly. And this will be the on-off switch for your shower, which will go under here when we put the boards in. So that's it now until we get the shower panels to go on here and here, and the shower, we can put the shower tray down. Now when we put the shower tray down, all these here, fill them with silicone and just screw them off so they don't interfere with your panel. Now you don't need to fill them with silicone, but if you fill them with silicone, you know you're never gonna get any swelling because the water can't get in it. And when you put your shower tray down, you will seal right the way across here and right the way across here. You do the same with these, fill these with silicone, and all the way up to the top there, and that way you know there's no water ever going to get to these boards, and if the water can't get to it, they can't swell, and everything is hunky-dory for years to come. Now I'm going to do the waste here. So again, hot water, just put your pipe in, get your spigot ready. Push it out. Ooh, well on. And then with your spanner, move up, and tighten. There we go. Put it tight. It will never leak. Pop that out. Right. Like so. Make sure that red piece is on as well as the rubber. Pop it on. Right, good and tight, good seal. Using the inspection hole on the other side. Pulled it through now, as you can see it'll come up underneath your shower tray. Okay. Once you put your shower tray down, that rubber seal will seal it. Just make sure it doesn't pop off while you're doing everything. Then this actually goes in your shower tray and screws on to make it good and tight. And then you've got your straightaway, so it goes in top of that. And then your plug. Right, we've got our boards now for the back panels. We've screwed these in, siliconed them up all the way around the bottom, and now I'm going to put the corner piece in. I'm going to stick it with CT1, and then I'm going to cut the panels to go on here, this one and this one. Now this one is quite tricky, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this corner piece in and then show you how to get the arch. It's very simple really, but if you don't know, it's a nightmare. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? Right, we've got our boards now for the back panels. We've screwed these in, siliconed them up all the way around the bottom, and now I'm going to put the corner piece in. I'm going to stick it with CT1, and then I'm going to cut the panels to go on here, this one and this one. Now this one is quite tricky, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this corner piece in and then show you how to get the arch. It's very simple really, but if you don't know, it's a nightmare. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? Right, I've stuck my thing in the corner. Just use a bit of CT1. Some people screw them, I don't, I just stick them. You screw them, the screws will hold your board away from the boards, so it won't sit right. So I just stick them. And then to get this shape above the top, your boards always come too big. So measure the height of the highest point, add 10-15 mil, and then cut the top off. And the excess piece that you've got left, then you can use that to make a template to cut it. And the easiest way of making a template, put some tape on it. This was my template. That's a flat edge anyway and it's square. You push it into your corner and push it up to your wall and hold it, and if you get a piece of wood or anything and just go across your sealant. And as you can see, just draw a line right the way across where you need to cut. So then I've cut it, dropped it on the other piece, cut the other piece. Now I know that other piece will fit. Now you think, well, if I cut it, it might be too big. No, put this back in when you cut it so it fits. Push it up and then measure down from here to your shower tray, and from here down to your shower tray. Should be square, but if it's not, just mark it on your board, cut your board, you'll know it will fit perfectly. And here's the first board that I've cut for here. I've cut my holes out for the plumbing. I'm going to silicone all this up and then pop that board on. Now then, when it comes to the holes where the pipes come through, I silicone it all the way around to make sure that that's all sealed and there's no water can go back through and down to the other side. Prevention is always better than cure. So I'm going to put some silicone on there. I can use any silicone for this now. You don't have to use CT1 for this. The only thing I'm going to use CT1 for is around these where the pipes come through and in the channel there where water possibly get in. And the reason I use CT1 for that is because CT1 isn't like silicone, it doesn't break down. So if you use silicone, after a couple of years it could just break down and start leaking, which is the last thing you want. So if you use CT1, it lasts for years, it doesn't break down the same as silicone. So I use CT1 for the holes and into the slot, and I use all this silicone just for sticking the board on. Now then, I put my silicone on. I've used black here, but you don't have to use black, you can use any colour. This is only to stick the board on. This is the most important, the CT1 round there. I've used clear for that in case it comes out, and I've used clear inside here in case it comes out there. You can wipe it off. If you use white, when you clean it off, you'll see little bits of white where it's there and it's not, and it's there and it's not. So if you use clear, once you clean it off, it's fine. I'm going to pop my board on. Now then, I've made sure it's in my groove first before I stick it back. Once it's in the groove, that's fine. Pop it back now. And give it a good squeeze down. Like so. That looks quite good. I did have plastic pipes sticking through here before, it was just so I could mark them. But I'm actually using copper to come through here, and there is a reason for that. I prefer copper in compression joints. I mean, you have got an insert what you can use for compression joints. However, I'm a great believer of prevention rather than cure. So if you put a piece of copper in and you use a compression joint, you know that it's secure. With this, it is supposed to be secure, but I prefer to use copper in this situation. It looks like you put an awful lot on there, but all you do is scrape it off. We use these little green wedges. As you can see, there's a little rounded corner on them. It's ideal for taking the majority of it off, but leaving a seal all the way around. So all you do is just run it down it, like so. Oops. Don't worry if you get a little bit of excess on the top, because you just use that multi-solve that I showed you before when we were sticking the windows in. You put a little bit of that on, wipe it, and off it comes. However, you've got a nice seal all the way around your shower. That off. Right, that's it. You've got a nice seal all the way around, and you're going to get the excess off with the multi-solve when it's dried. Don't try and take it off now, because you might be taking off what you've actually put round. It will come off very easy with that multi-solve, and you've got a sealed joint that you know is not going to give, so that's going to be there for a few years. Okay, right, now I'm going to stick the trim on, and you guessed it, I'm going to put CT1 all down the groove, because I don't want water going in that way either. I don't want water getting anywhere. So CT1 in there, and then I'll just pop it on the side here. Right, put my silicone CT1 on it, and I put clear on this town. I'll change it back to clear, because I don't want any white showing anywhere. And I'll put it onto my board. This should just pop on. There we go. That's the first rail on. I'll do the same with the second one, and then I can think about putting my shower surrounding. Now our panels are on, trims are on, corners in the right place. We've sealed the bottom so we know it's completely sealed. We've sealed the trims, So no water can go that way. Now we'll try our shower screen. I have built it up. Here. Whoops. Right. That bit's quite nice. All we need to do now is put our pieces that hold the shower screen in position, and we're away. We can start putting the shower in. Put our trims on now. I'm going to put the shower screen in, and then I'm going to seal the inside and the bottom. Not doing it now, because if I do it now and then I put my shower screen in, if this moves it will break the seal and then we'll get a leak. So this one I do after I put the shower screen in. Then pop the shower screen in, and now I can seal inside here on both sides, and then the bottom shower tray. Now for this, again I use clear CT1 for the obvious reason it doesn't break down or anything like that. So we'll do that and then we'll start with the rest of it. Now we switch to white to go around here, and then we'll put some clear around the bottom. Okay, let's start with the white. Now, you might be thinking, well, why has he done that when he's done the inside? Do both sides, you're covered. Again. Swing it round. Some people just use a bit of water and use a finger, but all it does is smudges it out all over the place. What you want is a nice seal, but it doesn't look untidy when it gets dirty. So by doing this, it does two things. One, it pushes the silicone in to where you want it to be sealed, and it finishes it off quite nice. Don't try and take too much off at once, otherwise you'll spread it. Just take a little bit off. So you're happy with it. Like I say, you'll still get some smudges, but don't worry about that. You just put a bit of multi-solve on them, just spray it on, wipe it with a cloth, they disappear. And that's it, really. Now I'm going to change the gun to clear, because it's all white on the floor. So I'll clean that off. Take this out of the gun. Pop the clear in. And do it again. Right, the multi-sol, do this way, all around, just get a cloth. That gets all the excess off there. And now, with the white, you do the same. It's smudged a little bit more, so put plenty on. There it is. All gone. Nice and clean, no finger marks in it, no spread all over the boards or all over the shower tray or shower screen, and that's all nice now. So when it's all completely set, I'll go back over it and see, make sure there is no more bits on it. If there is, I'll just get a bit more off. So that's the shower in, sealed. Next thing I'll do is put the plumbing through and show you what we do with that. Now we're going to do our plumbing. In here we've got our pipes coming through the wall. I've changed them from plastic to copper because I prefer to put a compression on copper, especially inside the shower. Now what you actually need now is a fixing kit to put your shower to, and this, if I can put it into view, is what you need. And what it consists of is these that pop over there, like so. Right, and then your olives fit over them. Like so. And then these, it's over them. Now, what you do need to do now is tighten them up, but I also need to screw them to the wall. Okay, so I will just screw them to the wall and I'll tighten them up and I'll show you the next bit. Right, screwed them on now. I need to tighten these up so they can press on the olives. So I'll do that now. Yeah, I'm happy that they're tight enough. Just one last check with the shower. Yeah, happy with them, and they'll screw on. So all I need to do now is pop these on. And when you screw these on, don't screw them on too tight, because this is only plastic. You'll pull it through and you'll damage this. You don't want to be damaging this at this stage because you've got everything in now. Just nip them in tight enough so they're not going to move when you tighten them up with the spanner. Right, now they're on. Time to put the shower on. Make sure you've got your rubbers inside your nuts before you put it on. Just take this off, just to make it a little easier. Now then, just in case you ever get confused, hot towels on the left. Just imagine that you go into a bathroom and you're going to put the hot tap on. Which one do you use? Generally your left hand. So hot there on the left. Okay, so we'll pop these on. Right, now we've got them on, let's tighten them up. Take them on evenly. Don't wind one up and then try to wind the other one up. Better if you take them on even, and then when they tighten up, they both should tighten up at the same time, and there's not too much stress on one of the rubbers. Because you can tighten that one right up and get right to the rubber and tighten it up, and then try and tighten this one up, and that one will be over tight then. So if you do need to nip it up at some point, you can't, because you've over tightened it in the first place. There's nowhere for it to go. So tie them up evenly. Right, that one just hit the rubber. Whoops. And that one just hit the rubber. So just nip it up. One. Again, don't over tighten them. Just nip it up, nice and solid. Right, they all work. And that's it, that's your shower plumbed in. All you have to do now is put your rail on and your other shower head, because there's two in this one. So I will do that, and then I can put the doors on and show you the finished thing. Okay, the shower's in now. And the doors are on. That's the top. Down at the bottom, all in.